whoa, 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 whoa. You got too much dip on your chip. You need to slow down. Have you even seen the car? What I had to say is, I told you, Nana and Boo Boo, don't drive that car. Don't you drive that car. You listen to me right now. Welcome back, Jews and Jems, to my channel. We are here with a nighttime story time because it's like 10 o'clock at night and I am in my night shirt and my bonnet is waiting on me. But it's June 30th and I told y'all I would be done with this list before July. Okay, so let's be done with this list, okay? It's the very last one. My very first car. I done scratched it off the list. Flip it to a new page. If you're new to my channel, my name is Shaye. The channel is just Shaye. I mainly do story times, but I do travel vlogs as well, try on hauls, day in a life, weekend in a life, tips and tricks. And back in the days, I did used to do stripper vlogs. We're reformed. If you like the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my returning Jews and Jems. Make sure your post notification bell is turned on because YouTube is a big fat hater. Yeah, and to my 2 Live crew, what it do? Yeah, this is a tough week for me because my braces have been cutting this side of my mouth really bad. So if you hear me lisp, do like a little lisp, or I'm dragging my words to the side like this, it's because I have cuts right here and I don't like to use wax anymore. I'm 2 years in come July 21st. So it's just like, I just don't be feeling the wax. I'm tired of swallowing wax. Yeah, but let's get right into it. It's not going to be a long story time, but it might be a funny one. So buckle up, hold on tight, put the key in ignition, crank it up, and stay in park, okay? Because I'm going to drive this time. All right, so where do I start? This story time, it took place here, not here in my apartment, but here in Lakeland, Florida. And I had just got my license. I was, I believe, 18 years old at the time. I had my license and I was in college and I was tired of Ubering, lifting, having to split Ubers and lifts. Because you got to remember, I went to school in Miami. Miami-Dade was the county, but Miami Gardens was the city. But yeah, and it was expensive trying to get around. Me and my friends, none of us had our car. My best friend, she had a car, but her parents wouldn't let her take the car down there. So we basically was all Ubering, lifting, and asking for rides. And it was getting expensive. I'm a broke college student. So this is like my first semester home. I mean, my first summer home, going into my sophomore year. And I'm just like, bro, I am broke, broke. And I am working. I think I'm ready for a car. I can't, like, all the money I spent and all the money I borrowed trying to get to and from parties, to and from the beach for spring break, to and from get, like, it just was a lot. You know what I'm saying? Now, given, for me, the fellas I was dealing with in college, my freshman year, were locals who lived in Miami Gardens, who lived in Miami, who lived in, you know what I'm saying, Plantation. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could come pick me up. My little, you know what I'm saying, my little friends come pick me up, whatever. So I, personally, if I wanted to get around by myself with my man just come pick me up and tell me where I want to go. But when I wanted to kick it with my girls, my friends, my homies, we all scrounging like, so who gonna order the lift? And then, are you gonna pay me back? You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? We go to a party. The party can't be too far because, baby, we can't pay a $40 Uber. No. And if we splitting it 3 ways, then maybe we could do it. But somebody always can't pay their tab. So it's just like, it was risky. I was like, Mom, I really want a car, like, da, da, da. She was like, you don't need no car right now. You need to wait, get your money, save your money up. And so at the time, I was kind of basically homeless. Like, if you were watching my stripper vlogs back when I was doing stripper vlogs, when I first finally started telling YouTube and the world that I was a dancer and stuff like that, my mama didn't know yet I was a dancer, but this is one of the reasons why I started dancing and stuff. Like, I was not in dancing yet, but I was trying to get there. Like, I was contemplating it. But I was just like, bro, I really need some quick money fast. But I am bouncing from pillow to post when I'm coming home for the summer, because my mom, in her mind, because she never went to college, she thought when I left, I was going to be in college all 12 months of the year. So she just completely booted and kicked me out of the room. My sister took over. My younger and my older sister took over the room. I literally didn't really have nowhere to sleep unless it was on the couch in the living room. My stuff, she thought I was just in Miami now. You know what I'm saying? So when I came back home, I kind of didn't have space. So I ended up, crashing at my godmom's house in their spare bedroom until, we kind of, tensions kind of got high. And then while I was living there, I was telling her the same thing I was telling my mom, like, I really want a car because it's just getting very expensive to Uber around, lift around, and ask people to take me places. I got a license. I should be driving. Like, I personally wanted a license so I could, I wanted a car at 18 because I wanted to, me thinking ahead, wanted to have insurance by for 5 years before I was 23, or not before I was 23, Lord Jesus, before I was 25, because I did not want my insurance to be so high in my mid 20s and onwards. I wanted to have some type of rapport so that I could leverage for a lower insurance. So to me, the only way you're gonna get insurance is if you got a car. I just be thinking about stuff that, girl, just relax. But, here I am, 25, and my insurance is, inflation. But I'm telling her, she was like, I can ask around, see if somebody has any cash cards for sale, this, that, and the third. I'm trying to be like, well, I want a car from the dealership. And she was like, well, how much do you have saved up? And I'm like, I don't have nothing saved up. So she's like, yeah, you're gonna need a cash card. Because I really didn't have no more than like $500, $600 at the time. So I really didn't want to have to go through the process of paying her car through a dealership, putting a down payment, because all I would have had was a down payment. You know what I'm saying? So she ends up, 2 weeks later, her brother, my godmother's younger brother, he was trying to get rid of his car. And he came over one day, and I guess I was out at work or something, and they were talking, and she was like, yeah, she was like, when did you, long story short, the conversation kind of went like, when did you get that car? He was like, I had the car for a little while, but it's kind of broke down, and I don't want to put the money into getting it fixed, so I'm actually trying to sell it. She was like, oh, that's crazy, because Shaye's trying to buy a car. How much you willing to sell the car, under its conditions? And he said $300. So she was like, okay, I'll let Shaye know and see what she says. So when I came home, she picked me up from work. She was telling me, hey, such and such came over today, and he was telling me how he had this car, but it's kind of messed up. It does need a little bit of work to it, but he's selling it only for $300. So I'm like, oh my God, $300? Wow, I gotta have it now. That's kind of how I was really like geeked up, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just thinking, like, who's getting a car for $300? Mind you, it's 2017 at the time, so it's like, that's kind of realistic. But then again, it's like, this is 2017, not 2000, and I did not say that correctly. This is 2017, not 1917. So 300 should have been like a red flag to me. But because I had never bought a car, it was not a red flag to me. And why it wasn't a red flag to my godmama, I don't know. But her antennas weren't up either. So I'm like, I'm gonna get the car. So then she like, did you talk to your mom? Don't just say yes to me. Did you talk to your mom about it? And I'm like, I don't even live with my mama. She don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing what the kids be doing. Mama don't even do nothing for me. She don't do nothing for me. She don't pay no bills for me. I could buy the car. About it. She was like, you need to talk to your mother first and see what she says. I don't want her thinking that we're just making decisions behind her back and I'm not including her, and she feels like I'm taking over because it's your first car. Now, mind you, they had a little bit of, my mama had a one-sided beef with my godmama, real one-sided beef with my godmama, because I kind of did a lot of my first with my godmother, like set up my bank account, got my driver's license, did my driver test with her. Like a lot of my first were with my godmother. And we'll get into that another day, why I was like basically with my godmom all the time. It's just, my life is crazy. So she like, yeah, I don't want her to feel like I stole another moment from her and get that understood with her and talking over with her. So I go back to my mom, I'm like, hey mom, I was just talking with da da da, and she's telling me her younger brother has a car for sale and he's only selling for $300. Wow, I can't believe it. Like, I'm gonna get the car. So she was like, whoa. You got too much dip on your chip. You need to slow down. Have you even seen the car? Have you drove the car? Do you know what the car even, like, what kind of oil it takes? Like, she's like, have you looked under the hood? Do you know what type of wheels it is? Like, what color is the car? I'm like, I haven't seen the car yet. But he said he's gonna come over tomorrow and I'm gonna look at the car then. So she was like, I don't think you should get no car for $300. Not because it's not a good deal, but because if he's selling it for so low, what's going on with the car? And I was like, I don't know, but he did say there's some stuff that's messed up with the car. So she's like, okay, well, when he come over there, call us, and I'm gonna bring, at the time, my stepdad, and he'll go and look underneath the hood. I did not call them. Instead, what I did was take my stepmother and we went out there to look at the hood. Two people who don't know no car. We went out there to look at it, crank it up, told him, let's drive around the neighborhood. Now, he did tell me, like, the car needs something, I can't remember what it was, replaced, because the car would overheat and then shut off. Like, smoke overheat. So, he was like, that's why he's selling it so low, because he don't want to pay for that. Like, at all. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So, let me call her and tell her what he said. She was like, let me tell my stepdad and see what he said. By the time, oh, my nose, I'm about to sneeze. Okay. But, baby, this nose is fire red right now. I literally feel like I'm about to chew this, okay? And so, by the time she even got probably to dial his number, I was giving him the $300. Give me the car, and he gave me the car keys. Now, this car, you guys, remind me of a spaceship. I don't know the name of it, and I don't know the model. I don't know nothing about this car. I only know how it looks in my mind because I remember the car. It was brown, it was low, it had a long front, and then a short back. It was a two-seater. It was really a four-seater, but it was a two-door brown car. It looked like a spaceship. And the reason why I wanted the car, because in my mind, because I was still young and selfish, I did not want all them just piling up in my car when I came back. I wanted a car for myself. I wanted a car for me and my closest to get in the car and go where we need to go. I didn't need to be flashy lights. I ain't need a Benz. I ain't need none of that. I just wanted a car where just me and the people I actually with, we could get somewhere and get there safely. I didn't want to be the college whip, because I had already knew if I get a nice size car, people gonna be asking for rides, and I don't want to. I'm not a chauffeur, so that's a part of the reason why I did the hastily move and got this car, right? Girl, I take the key. I'm like, so she's like, so where's the title, whatever, registration, whatever it's called. I think it was the title and the registration. I think that's what she asked for. And he was like, the registration, he didn't have shit. Let's just keep it a buck, because I can't remember if he had registration or not. But we just gonna lie on his name and say he ain't had a registration either. But he did not have the title to the car. And she's like, so who has the title to the car? He's like, well, his friend, his ex-roommate / friend sold him the car. he's been trying to get the tag from him, and he hasn't got the tag from him. So he doesn't have the title, I keep saying tag, title to give to me. So then now I'm like, oh snap, we done started some mess. So technically this is not my car, even though it's my car. And so I'm just like, see, listen to my mama. So my godmom's like, don't worry, calm down, we're gonna get it worked out, we're gonna get it fixed. He gonna come back and he gonna get it right. She didn't know her brother was not gonna get it right. So 2 weeks go by, mom was like, don't you drive that car without no title and you don't know the registration at. Don't you drive that car, you don't have no insurance on that car, you don't have nothing on it. You can't even put that car in your name until you find out where the title at. Is it the car even paid off? She's like, that's why I told your ass, stop doing shit. You always moving so fast. You didn't need that car right now. I did. I was like, okay, like, get off my line. Click. I used to take her on all the time because she would just be yelling at the phone. I'm like, girl, I don't want to hear all that right now. Like, all you had to say is, I told you, nana boo boo. But you want to get on the phone and talk about, you don't listen to nobody. You always think you know shit. Slow down. Girl, did you pay this phone bill? Click. I used to take her home so bad because I don't got time for all that yelling. I'm not finna be away in college taking care of my motherfucking self for 9, almost 10 months out of the year, and then I come home and you think you run some shit. I ain't want to hear none of that. I've been taking care of my motherfucking self all by myself. Like Ebony said, I've been doing this for a long motherfucking time now, and if I want to make some extra money on the side, that's my business. That's kind of how I felt dealing with my mama. It's like, how dare you just get mad at me for being a 19-year-old? Like, how dare you? Please. So I'm mad because she right. Because now I technically can't drive this car. I can, but I ain't got no papers on this car. And on top of that, the car messed up. So it's like, even I get papers on the car, is it worth me getting the papers on the car and the insurance if I can't drive the motherfucker? The car was just raggedy altogether, y'all. It was, the dashboard was, the door on the inside, like, it was a knob on the outside to open the door. But when you get inside, you had to use a screwdriver to open the door from the inside to get out the car. Oh my God, it was so raggedy, just like a lot going on. The car sat so freaking low to the ground. Again, look like a spaceship. If I can find a picture of this car, baby, I'm going to find a picture. Let me see, what that other phone at? I just don't even know what this car was called. But yeah, it just was a lot going on with the car. And then, you know, every once in a while I take the car and drive around the little neighborhood because it's my car. Like, I want to ride in my car. So I would literally drive the car around the little neighborhood my godmama lived in, and then I would come back and park it back in the grass. And so then one day, my goddad, he was telling me, like, we got to move the car from right here because I don't know if they was getting the grass cut or they was cutting the tree. It was one of the two. I can't remember, but they needed that car to move because it was parked right next to the tree. And so he was like, yeah, you have to move it. So I was like, the only place I can take it is to my own house. So I knew I was going to be cussing and fussing and yelling in the phone. So I was just like, oh my God, I was scared to call. He was like, just call her. You just never know what she'll say. You know what I'm saying? I know we don't want to move it because of everything that's going on. But if you can get it over there, then maybe your stepdad can look at the car and fix on it. So I was like, okay, whatever. Even though he's not a mechanic. Take the car, drive the car to my house. I was so happy. I felt like I was driving my car on the streets. The actual streets, not the neighborhood. Not at the cul-de-sac. You know what I'm saying? So, drove the car to my house, parked it right next to the mailbox in the grass, and it sat there. And he looked at it. My stepdad did look at it. He kind of was saying something with, I don't remember, child, don't get me the line. Something was wrong with it. She was telling me, don't drive that car. Don't you drive that car. You listen to me right now. He done said, what's wrong with it? That's something serious. Don't you pick them keys up and drive. I'm like, girl, shut up. Dang. How many times you gonna say the same thing? Like, okay, don't drive the car. I'm not gonna drive the car. I drove the car. So, oh my God. Oh my God. So, long story short, I really do think it was they needed to cut the tree down, because I ended up moving the car back over there to their house, because she was still going back and forth with her brother, trying to get the tag and figure out, can he just give us the numbers of the guy. It was a lot, right? So, girl, what happened? One day, everybody was gone, so the car was gone. One day, my godmama and godfather had took the kids somewhere, so I was just at the house by myself, right? And my mom was, I don't know where she was at. I know where I was at. I was at the house with the keys, and I wanted to hang out. You know how you just wake up some days and be like, you want to take a day to do something with yourself, go around shopping, pamper yourself, just hang out with yourself. I woke up and I was feeling like that. So I was like, I'm taking the car out. And I said, okay, they say I can't drive the car long distances without it starting to overheat. So I just take it right down the road to the mall. Now, the mall was only maybe 10 minutes from my godmother's house. So I'm just like, we're going to go to the mall, we're going to do some shopping, and get me something to eat, and then I'll come back home. Girl, when you try to do sneaky shit, you always get caught. So I go to the mall, everything's going good. The car's running really fine. I go in the mall, get my stuff. I even go through the drive-thru at McDonald's, give me a little bitey bite. This is where I went wrong, because if I would have just took the car straight back to the house, my godmama's house, I would never even been in this situation. But because I kind of wanted I felt like the car was riding so good, I didn't have no issues. I wanted to show off, so I was going to take the car by my mama's house till she was home, so she could see the car was riding. But really, I went for second round. I just was riding. Like, I don't know if y'all remember the Rich Homie Quan days. I don't remember what year that was, when he was hot. When we used to just get in the car and just ride around, listen to music, just like, see, people just know it's you in the car. You know what I'm saying? You just riding around, like, just riding. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting out talking about it. You just cruising the city, just wasting gas. That's when gas was 25 cents a gallon. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just cruising around in my $1.25 worth of gas. And I go by my mama's house. Well, not by my mama's house. I started to go towards my mama's house. Now I'm coming around a little loop where you start to enter the neighborhoods that go towards where my mama lived, right? And the car started to, I could hear the car starting to heat up. And I seen the meter go from the middle, and it was slowly getting more and more towards the H for hot. So I'm like, oh, this car about to overheat. So I'm just like, it was a park, literally like less than a minute from that turn to go around and start driving towards the neighborhood. So I said, let me pull into this park, because this car is about to overheat. I pull into the park. Mind you, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I am like stuck at this park, because as soon as I park the car, it starts to immediately overheat. Car shuts off, and I'm like, wow, you just don't listen. Hardhead. All you had to do is take the car back to the house. You'd have been fine. But I think what really made it overheat is how long I was waiting in that McDonald's line. But if I would have got straight on the interstate from McDonald's to the freaking my godmama house, I would not been in this situation, baby. I was sitting in them people, I had them pop the hood. I'm sitting in the park. I'm like, Lord Jesus, this is when people actually used to go to the park in my mama's neighborhood. So I'm like, Lord Jesus, I just pray my stepdaddy don't break his kids up here. I just pray the kids don't come up. I just pray my sisters don't even come up. I just pray don't nobody come up to the park. Bitch, please. People was coming to the park today, hanging out. Why are y'all coming to the park at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? It is hot outside. Like, so I'm just like, OMG. Mind you, it's summertime. I like I said, I came home for the summer. So it's summertime. The kids is out, and I'm just sitting here pop hood of this spaceship. And I'm like, I gotta call my mama. Like, I don't want to, but I gotta call my mama. Like, I can't even crank the car back up. Y'all, oh my God, what the name of this dang car is? It screams 2005. The car screams 2005. Mind you, it's 2017 at this time. Why do you want a car that's 12 years old? I don't know. Just doing stuff. So I end up calling my mom, and I'm like, Mom, where you at? And she's like, at the house on the porch, what's up? I was like, what Mr. Such and Such at? She was like, he right here, why, what's going on? I said, I had drove the car, I was trying to see you, and I had drove the car the back way, because I had to come with a lie. I had drove the car the back way to your house, and I'm stuck at the park. The car overheated. Why would you take that car off the people's porch? I done told you. Mom, can you come or not? All right, I'm going to tell him to come up there right now. 10 minutes later, first of all, mind you, my mom had a car. I don't understand why she made this man walk up to the park to me. Your house is 2 minutes away if you're in a car. It's 10 minutes away if you make this man walk. Why would you have this man come walk to me? I think she was so mad at me, she did not even want to see my face. So then she was like, I could call AAA, because he came and tried everything he could. He came with a water, he came with he came with cooler, he came with everything. Their car would not crank back up. Nothing. So she was like, I could call AAA and tell them that I was in the car, because she had AAA. And the car broke down and had them tow it to my house. And then the car that's how we do it. Got the car towed down the street to her house. I was like, thank you so much. You're so smart. And then she was like, see, I told you not to drive the car, but you just don't listen to nobody. And I'm like, I know that. Because I really want to drive it. And I had to tell her, it's my car. I really want to drive the car. I paid $300 for what? Now I'm just losing out on $300 if I don't pay for the car. We done went to people's house and everything trying to get this man to get this registration. She can't get the registration. He not even calling his own sister back. He not texting her back. He done ran off with my $300. And I basically got scammed. But I can't say I got scammed because he gave me the product. The product just is shit, and he omitted important information. So it's like, now we run around with gooses. We like gooses with our head cut off, trying to figure out who has his registration. So I think about maybe a week or two went by, and it's closing up to the last couple days, weeks, whatever, of summer, and I'm just like, I have to get this car off my hands, and I need my $300 back. So I come up with a smart idea to put it on upsell, right? And I disclose in the ad, this car does not have a registration, this car does not have a title, and this car is not drivable. I put it in there because I didn't want nobody to come back and tell me I had scammed them. I need you to know, if you're getting this car, you're getting this car for parts. Basically, it's all you're finna get it for. Now, could I have took it to the junkyard? No, because I did not have a registration or title to sell them the car for them to use it for parts. Because I was going there first. And I know I would have got way more money if I would have took it to the junkyard. Because the tires were good. The inside of it, besides that door, was good. It was a lot of parts they could have ripped and got out of it. All that good stuff. But I didn't have a registration, and they were wanting at least a registration or the title to show that you own the car and you have the rights to actually sell the car. I didn't have that. So I had to go upsell. So about a day later, this white guy hit me up like, hey, I want the car. I'm like, did you read the description? I just want to be very transparent with you that this is not a car typically for driving. If you want to risk it, that's fine, but I don't want you to think that this is a drivable car. He was like, nah, you good. Like, I want the car, 300, that's fine. So cool. I decided to, because I had seen something that was saying, even if you write out an agreement, once you sign it and date it, just have a witness to see you guys both sign it and read out the contract to let them know, like, this is legally binding between us. And once you pass over the $300, you cannot come back in a couple of days to say you no longer are okay with the car. So I wrote down, like, this is not a functioning car. It needs repairs. It does not have a title. It does not have a registration. This car is being sold to, I put his real name, such and such, for the total of $300 to Shaye on this day. And then at the bottom, it was a line for buyer and a line for seller. And I signed and dated. And my mama stood there and watched us. And she was like, okay, this is your car. Here's the key to the car. And he took the car and he skedaddled. I don't know how far he skedaddled to. I'm just playing. Well, I think his friend had, I can't remember that far back. I think his friend had came and towed the car for him. But, you know, he probably got way more than $300 off of that. That was a flip for him. So, yeah, I finally had got the car off my hands, and I was just like, whew, that was stressful. That was so stressful. So I had told myself from that experience, I would never do a cash car again. I really, and so I told myself I'd never do a cash car again. So when I did come back the next year, my sophomore going into my junior year, you guys know that's when I actually purchased my first car on paper, on my credit, for real. But it was a learning lesson. Everything is a learning lesson. You just gotta, you take the good with the bad, and you just pray to God he work it out. Because baby, I was stressed trying to get rid of that car. He had never got back with his own sister. He basically came, scammed, and left. And was in the wind, child. Just in the wind. So I learned my lesson, and from there I was like, baby girl, don't be doing all yelling in my face. Because I don't receive it well when you yell at me. But yeah, now I have my third car. And we being technical, my second car, because the first one I ain't had no registration. But I'm on my second car, and my first car was a buy here, pay here, something like that. You put so much down, you can leave with it that day, right? That was my first car. I paid that car off. I gave that car to my mama. And then I decided I wanted something new. So as y'all know, I got my 2022 last year. My 2022 in 2022. Last year, my cute little blue Corolla. And since then, I've been, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna try to keep this car for a while. Like I kept the white car probably about 5 or 6 years, depending on how Miss Mama's. I really could keep, I just love my Toyotas, because baby, I had over 200,000 miles on that white car, and she was doing pretty good. I just felt like I deserved a better car. I was doing well for myself, and I wanted a different image for myself, and just finally giving myself something I deserve, not being so humble about everything. And yeah, went to the dealership, got a brand new car off the lot. It's 4 miles. I was about to say 0, but it was 4 miles on the car. So yeah, that's it. That's all. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. This weekend, this Tuesday is 4th of July. If I don't get on live by 4th of July, I want y'all to jump me in the comment section and say, you still ain't went live to give us the list of July story times. But yeah, that's it. That's all. And until next time, Jews and Jems. Peace.